Recently, I have been book shopping quite a bit with a combination of my birthday, and really it's just my birthday. The first book that I have here is Things We Never Got Over. I have been seeing posts about this one. I've been like on Instagram a lot and Bookstagram, and I've been seeing posts about this one all over the place for such a long time. Sometimes I just like get a feeling about a book and I'm like, I don't really know if I'll like that one, and that's kind of how I felt about this one. But then I saw a quote. I saw the quote and I was like, you know what? I think it's time. Something about this cover is just really satisfying to me. Knox Morgan doesn't tolerate drama, especially in the form of a stranded runaway bride. She has sort of like an evil twin, or just like a twin who just keeps doing like all this crazy stuff, and she ends up leaving her sister with her 11-year-old daughter, so now Naomi has to take care of her. I think that she ends up getting help from the guy in this, Knox, and he like doesn't really want to get involved. I feel like he's gonna be like kind of like a grumpy character. It says, since Naomi's life imploded right in front of him, the least Knox can do is help her out of her jam. Now she's a guardian to an 11-year-old going on 30 with no car, no money, and no plan. This sounds like it's gonna be really cute. I'm very excited about this one. I can't remember if it's a small town, but for some reason I feel like I've heard that it is. Next I got Binding 13, is this like the boy? Yeah, The Boys of Tommen. I've been recommended this one a lot lately. I have heard just amazing things about this one. The stuff that I hear about this one reminds me of how much people love like the Addicted series and stuff. There are multiple books in the series, I know, so if I like this one and I get hooked on it, I will just have to read like all the other ones. This is a college sports romance. Okay, so she is bullied and they end up forming a friendship, and he's like a rugby player, and then I'm assuming it turns into a romance. Two teenagers from opposite sides of the tracks collide. This sounds really cute, but I've also heard that it's really like a lot of dark stuff happens in it. Friendship, first love, rising fame, horrifying secrets, and pain all fueled together in Binding 13. Another reason why I'm getting like a lot of these books that I've heard so much about is because I'm filming a viral books reading blog for romances and fantasies. So I'm reading all the ones that I've been hearing the most about and seeing if I like them just as much as everyone else likes them. I got Out on a Limb. Sometimes I'm just really in the mood for like a sweet, vulnerable love story that feels like a hug and just like makes me so happy and emotional, and I feel like this one might be that. Oh my god, okay, I'm not gonna say anything, but I'm remembering what the big thing is in this book where I was like, oh my god, that is kind of crazy, and I don't know if I like it, but I want to give it a try because I've heard amazing things and I feel like I will like it based on the quotes that I've seen. I really like the colors in this one because it like looks like the beach at fall time. It looks like it's independently published, which is really cool. I feel like I'm already gonna cry off of the author's note. I haven't even read the whole thing, but I just literally read like the first couple sentences. Next we have Things We Leave Unfinished. It's written by the same person who wrote Fourth Wing, and I just love the vibe of that romance in that book, and I know that was fantasy, so it's probably gonna be a bit different. This one seems like it could be more dramatic too, which I really just crave sometimes. Like there's just certain things in romance where like sometimes I crave a specific type of romance book, and I feel like this one is one that I don't have like a bunch like it. The concept of this one is so sweet. It's like these letters that the girl's grandma wrote, and there's like a famous romance novelist or something. That's who the romance is with, and they're like going through her letters and stuff. But as they read Scarlett's words in both the manuscript and her box of letters, they start to realize why Scarlett never finished the book. It's based off her real-life romance with a World War II pilot, and the ending isn't a happy one. This sounds like it's going to make me cry my eyes out. I really like though that the main character is not the one like going through this, that it's like her reading her grandma's writing, because I would prefer that over her being in that actual situation, because that would really make me sad. I am not one of those people who could read books that don't have happy endings. Well, I can and I have, but like it makes me so sad, and I usually don't really like the book as much because of that. There's only like a few exceptions I feel like for ones that don't have happy endings that I end up liking, and mostly they're not romances. Next up, One Dark Window. This one I'm so excited to read. I feel like I'm actually most excited out of all of them for this one, but that could just be because I'm specifically in a fantasy mood right now. This is like a dark fall vibe fantasy, and there's like a girl who, she has like a monster like living in her head or something. A maiden must unleash the monster within to save her kingdom in this dark, lush, gothic fantasy debut. Elizabeth needs a monster, the monster might be her. She calls him the Nightmare, an ancient, mercurial spirit trapped in her head. He protects her, he keeps her secrets, but nothing comes for free, especially magic. Ooh, the romance is with the king's nephew, captain of the most dangerous men in Blunder. and guilty of high treason. Yeah, this is right up my alley. I'm gonna love it. I'm back to finish filming this video. I got the rest of my books in the mail today, so time to open them. I figured I'd open them up on camera. Before I do that though, I'll just say one of the books that I got didn't come in the mail because I think it's running late, but I got Powerless. It's a YA fantasy. I heard that it is inspired by, or like has things from the Hunger Games in it, or like inspired by the Hunger Games, something like that. I love the Hunger Games. That's like one of my favorite book series ever. I'd say it's like a viral fantasy book right now, which is one of the reasons I got it, because like I was saying earlier, I'm filming like a reading viral fantasy books vlog, so that is going to be in that video. It sounds really good. I love the quotes that I've seen from it, and I'm just excited to read it. Like, I feel like I'm really gonna like it. It's enemies to lovers, and that's kind of most of what I know about it. I also recently pre-ordered A Curse for True Love, and it comes out October 24th. I'm so excited to read that one. That is like one of my favorite book series ever. It's a YA fantasy, and I just love that one so much. I really don't want to cut a book. First off, we have The Predator. This is a dark romance. I've been trying to collect some dark romances. A lot of times will get books in mind, like with a video idea in mind. So this one, I'm gonna be reading dark romances. I'm super excited to read this one. I feel like it's good for fall time, but it's also just like a dark mafia romance. I'm pretty sure it's a mafia romance, and I have not read like a lot of them. So I'm excited to read this one. In the dark underbelly of the mob, Tristan Kane has been an anomaly. He is an enigma to all, his skills unparalleled, his morality questionable, and his motives unknown. He is lethal and he knows it. I love a morally great character, and I love a morally great character who's in a romance. So this is going to be absolutely perfect for me. Then the next one I got is Haunting Adeline, another dark romance. This one I heard is kind of unhinged, and you know what? I'm good with that. I like those books sometimes. It's giving me Halloween. I've heard that this book is like a little bit like the guy in it gives like stalker vibes, which like I don't really like, but you know what? I might end up liking it in this like this specific fiction world. I might end up liking it. It reminds me of like how Edward was in Twilight. I'm ready to read a really dark and twisted romance because sometimes I'm just in the mood for those, and this one is going to be interesting. I think I feel like a lot of people say that this is like their favorite, so I wonder if this is going to be one of my new favorite dark romances, because like in my head I've read like a lot of them, but then when I really think about all the books I've read, like I've read mostly just like contemporary romance, a lot of fantasy. Like I haven't read a lot of like dark romances. I feel like I kind of put some of my fantasy romances like in that category. Next I got Ghosted, a second chance romance. If you've seen some of my videos, you may know that second chance romances are my favorite. This one's been on my TBR for a while. It's been one that I've just been really wanting to get, and then I got recommended it again recently, and I was like, you know what, I feel like I'm gonna take that as a sign because I've already really wanted to read this one. I'm just gonna get it. When Kennedy Garfield met Jonathan Cunningham back in high school, she knew he had all the makings of a tragic hero. With stars in his eyes and her heart on her sleeve, the pair ran away together to follow their dreams, but dreams sometimes turn into nightmares. Oh my goodness, they share a daughter together. This reminds me so much of that movie. Oh my god, I'll put it up on the screen because I'm forgetting what it's called, but he's like a country singer. It sounds really cute, very excited, been recommended by people that I trust their recommendations, so I feel like I will hopefully like it. The last book that I got is The Storied Life of AJ Fikri. Here's what it looks like. I got this because I watched Haley Pham's like reading until I find a 5-star read, or this video ends once I find a 5-star read video. This ended up being her 5-star read, so I mean, I felt like after I watched that I was just convinced to get it. I was gonna get the Tomorrow book, but this is the only one that was at Barnes & Noble, so it was meant to be. I kind of like how short it is, because every once in a while I feel like a lot of the books that I read are kind of longer, so every once in a while it's kind of nice to get just like a short and sweet book. It has humor, romance, and a touch of suspense, but most of all love. Oh my god, I love books like that. I love books where you could just like feel the love in them. I don't know if that's what this one is, but that kind of made it sound like it is. Oh, also like marvelly optimistic. This book is gonna make me love life. I also really like the cover. Something about it is just very like endearing to me. It reminds me of like a book that would be like one of my favorite books when I was really little, just like how the artwork is. You know what it's reminding me of is like The Night I Followed My Dog. I can't wait to read this one. All those reviews got me really excited. That is the end of this haul. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like this video if you liked it, and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more of my videos. And I'll also put all my social medias in the description if you want to check out those, and I will see you in the next one.